You all don't need to clap. That's good.
I really want to clap.
You can. You can do it once if you want to now.
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the object of the law. This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here. Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo.
You can't break those cuffs. Make him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion, coming to you live from Neo Chicago. I am Officer Kevin.
Coming to you quietly from also Neo Chicago. I am Officer Grant with NPR.
Was that louder than normal?
No, I was just doing a bit.
Well, that makes me self-conscious.
Well, you shouldn't feel that because I just be saying words sometimes.
Like, I know it's loud and annoying,
Really do
but
be.
like if it's extra loud and
Oh,
annoying...
no,
like,
you're
you know,
fine. No, it's good.
let us know in the comments.
Right.
How are you, Grant?
I'm regular.
All right, me too.
Yep.
Well, that's a great start to the introduction of the hosts. Let's give a warm welcome to our guest on this episode, Brandon Kirkman. How are you?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing pretty good. I'm having like a fun and flirty Thursday so far, I feel like.
Flirty Thursday, what's that feel like?
It's just like a regular Thursday, but you just like maybe have the chance of sexual harassment dropping in.
All right, we can work on that.
From us or just
Yeah,
an outside source?
Anywhere.
Or like
I feel like it's you have to let the universe actualize whatever it needs to do.
And you're trying to inhabit this version of reality.
yeah,
that
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Brandon, we're so happy to have you here. I'm having a hard time adjusting to this because this is the first in-person guest we've had since maybe November, maybe Zwick, I think.
Maybe.
It's been a long time.
Having Zwick on as the last in-person guest that we've had since we haven't had any because of like COVID's been, sort of all over the place. That reminds me of going to see Sonic and that was the last movie in movie theaters.
Yeah. Nice.
It's the same energy.
Right, yeah.
One is green, the other is blue.
You're ending on a high note, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, man, I gotta go see another movie in a movie theater. This can't be the last movie in a movie theater I see before I die. And now Zwick is not the last in-person guest that we've had before I die.
Nice.
It will go to you, Brandon.
Welcome.
Is this like Highlander rules?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The podcast has always been Highlander.
Oh, and also, I do want to give a shout out. Zwick does a lot of work for us. He's put a lot of time in for us. And as sort of a tribute to him, I wanted to drink out of this mug. This is a Chad
Hold
Zwick.
it closer to if people can see that.
Ooh, look at that. Okay, he's focusing it in. Look at that.
This is just another one of the fine pieces of merchandise you can find over at teespring.com/stores/thoughtcops. I feel like I'm on the home shopping network here. But
The QVC.
I wanted to give a little tribute where tributes due, and I thought, what better beverage to drink out of the Zwick cup?
Oh, hell yeah.
Than
You're making me nauseous right now.
the Silver Monster, the Boomer juice. So without further ado,
is that really is that the Zwick drink of choice? I thought he was known for his daddy sodas, but
that is true. But
I forgot about daddy sodas.
Those are fucking nasty, so
They
I
are.
won't be drinking that. What was in that? Do you remember?
I don't care to speak about it.
It does feel wrong to like pour this into a glass.
It does. You're supposed to drink it out of itself because you're supposed to hold it up and then wear sunglasses and slick your hair back and.
But like, isn't it weird how it's just like
it looks disgusting.
It's like translucent water.
Yeah, it's like an opaqueness to it almost.
Yeah, I mean, bottoms up, I suppose.
Even like Sprite or 7-Up has you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's Sprite or that's 7-Up. This just looks, I don't know.
Now, I'll be damned if it doesn't taste good though. That's good stuff.
Brandon, what are you doing? What
have I been up to lately? Pressure open mic is back.
Wait, it is?
It is. It's So we literally like, okay, the Pressure Billiards is closing. They sold the land, and we're like, okay, it's been a good run. It's an open mic that's been running since 2006. We took over in like 2014, 13. And we had a great last show and felt like, okay, this is the end of the chapter. And then literally like a week later, Redline VR, which is a bar kind of like by Ravenswood. It's like, how would you love to do the Pressure open mic here? I'm like, okay, I guess, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Wouldn't that be the VR open mic?
We're calling it the Pressure Billiards Cafe open mic at Redline VR because we can never do anything easy.
It rolls off the tongue really nice.
It really
too.
does.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
I mean, and then just the usual podcast stuff. We're getting ready for our 100th episode for Podzuki, which I'm
Oh,
really excited
wow.
for.
Yeah.
I know we're getting up there. I mean, it only took us 5 years, but we
Podzuki is becoming a kaiju of itself, one would say.
It really
Yeah.
is. That's my podcast I do about kaiju movies, but
Will you be renaming it to Podzilla?
I think at this point I have to call it Podzilla.
It's a great show. Grant and I have been on more than once. Nico's been on. Slime to Garbage Man. There's a lot of crossover. So if you like this show, check out Podzuki. You might like that too.
Yeah, Slime's episode's one of my favorites because one of our co-hosts.
That's fucked.
Oh, no, not your two. Yeah, they're awful. Awful, garbage, bad. No, they're really funny episodes.
Well, he did
True.
Small Soldiers.
Well, he
right?
did Small Soldiers, and the reason I really liked the episode is that our co-host Luke really hated the movie, and Slime really likes the movie, and
Right.
there was some real tension on that
I
episode.
felt that. Yeah.
I can also, like, knowing both of their personality types,
yup.
I know the tension. I haven't listened to that episode, and I've been meaning to because you have been billing that as the best episode, and I have been wanting to listen to it, and I haven't yet, but I promise
Well,
that I
you-
will.
You will.
You
You will.
But, like, knowing the both of them, and also knowing that, like, if they haven't, like, interacted before, I can, like, hear the conversation
Oh,
going
yeah.
in my head, and it's very funny.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning. Yeah, you do the show with Martin Felshman and Luke Flip, who have both been on this program before. And I'm also realizing now. 'cause
Has Luke been on?
Luke has been on.
Remember?
Right, he called in yeah.
Yeah, it was during the dark
'Cause
times.
for some reason I was like, he was never here.
Yeah,
I
we
can't.
did
My
remote.
brain's.
But I'm like, I was like
scrambled,
trying to think back. I'm like, when was the last time Brandon was on the show?
man. Live
I'm like,
show,
I'm like, yeah, it was the live
Yeah,
show. With,
yeah.
That was really fun.
We had you and Martin on. That was like
and that was the last live show that we did before
you know
COVID
what, man?
fucking
We
picked
really
up
need
and
to do
shit.
more. It's just like, yeah.
Well,
I'm either on the front end or the back end, it looks like right now.
we had
I mean, take advantage
yeah.
of what it is, I guess.
We had planned for that show, and then like the week before, they were like, "Oh, masks are back."
Yeah.
and so it was like, and then it started ramping up, and then it's like, okay, let's not go places anymore because we could die, so
Right.
we'll just stay inside.
I thought the weirdest thing about that was Lincoln Lodge said that masks were back, but it was Jim Carrey's the mask, so everybody had to paint their face green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty
And we
confusing.
had the whole show. We were like, "Somebody stop us!"
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to reboot that?
The Mask,
Oh,
yeah.
didn't they?
absolutely.
With Jamie Kennedy.
I don't know if that counts though. It was too close in the timeline of the original Mask.
Yeah, that felt more like
What was it,
sequel.
the Son of
Yeah.
the Mask?
Yeah.
That's that's like a sequel. Maybe you call it like a soft reboot.
Yeah,
That failed
Whatever.
the launch.
I wasn't the
Yeah.
only soft thing there. Let me tell you,
What else was?
myself. There was nothing arousing in that movie.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I was
because
gonna
it's
say.
called The Son of the Mask.
Yeah, it's about a baby.
But you're also doing what, NPC Incorporated?
I'm also
is a
doing
thing?
NPC Incorporated.
That's a new thing?
Well, kind of.
No, it's
like-
not a new thing.
Well, we rebranded it about a year ago because we switched the cast and we have a whole new season going. So it felt like it was the right thing to do. That's DM'd by Hobart Thompson, who's fantastic at it. Then I do that with Liz Getty, who I think you both know, and then
Yes.
also
Mhm.
some of our other friends, Sadie Landcrete and then Meadow Lilium. It's a real fun, good time. And it's a D&D live play podcast that's like set in the business world, but it's like there's little gerblins that are like using the copy machine. You gotta get them off it.
I hate those gerblins.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Drives
I was,
me.
You know, for a second, I'm like, what does that sound familiar?
Yeah,
And I'm like,
I went to the
oh,
curse video.
no.
Yeah.
Was that at the live show we did with you guys? Or was
Yeah,
it
it
I
was.
think so, yeah.
It was.
I
Because
all
we
I-
had to watch that video again, and that was like the third time I'd seen it, so it
God.
felt even worse.
Sometimes I think back on the live shows we've done. I think about the videos we make an entire room of people watch,
Well,
and it's just like, man,
famously, and I do want to do this, but when
Mr. Hands.
we did the metaverse episode with the Stereos, he said, "Hey, next time when COVID's dead and we all do one big live show with the Thought Cops again, live viewing of Trumpy Guy, the Family Guy episode where Donald Trump, and I'm 100% down.
I am
Yeah.
so down.
That
for
will be
That would be amazing.
the worst content ever. Like
you
like
think
the worst.
You think that chicken guy appears? You think the chicken's there?
Well, we've already
we've
seen it. I don't
seen
wanna
it
spoil
multiple times?
I've
yeah,
not seen it.
I would prefer not to spoil it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet because I want to go to heaven. So
It's not going to happen.
Well,
Yeah.
it's too late for us
Yeah.
because we've already seen it. But yeah, can you just imagine that? Like, just like us, like all of us, like craning our necks, like looking at the screen, like commenting once in a while, like, "Oh, this is good. Watch this part."
the audience starts like clapping or laughing, like, shh, shh, shh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shut the
that-
fuck up.
Yeah.
Show some fucking respect.
Someone's going to have to be in charge of like the pause button because there will have to be
Yeah,
pauses.
we'll have
Maybe
to do
we plan
we have
out pauses or
commentary.
whatever. But this is all behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, that would be amazing, and I very much look forward to it. Yeah, I guess stay tuned for that specifically. Anyway, so yeah, Podzuki NPC Incorporated. If you ever, I like that because it's a fantasy element, but it's relatable
Yeah.
to the everyman. It's like
Right.
it's like you got a day job. Day job sucks, but it's like, what if there was gerblins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like a great example is the current story arc is that one of our characters went into a meeting with our boss, Mr. Lowe, but he's actually a vampire in the setting. So now they become one of their thralls, and basically they're telling him all of our secrets. We gotta kill this vampire, but he's your boss. What do you do?
Sure,
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So,
I'm sure you will.
yeah,
I have full
fingers
faith.
crossed.
So if you're not looking at the YouTube, do that. Go YouTube Thought Cops and do the subscribe. Almost at 600.
Almost going to Borat there.
Almost at 600 subscribers we are.
Wow,
So
we are.
lend your subscribe and then we'll do more of that. Also rate us on Spotify and iTunes. Twitch.tv/ThoughtCops. I've been frigging around on the Twitch a little bit more. I have some new ideas for some re-educationing bits that I recorded. And I'm trying to do more of like a live, like you see people do this, they do a live Twitch reaction and then they clip it and then they put that on YouTube.
Kind of
and
like
I'm
Hassan Piker. He's cool.
like him.
Yeah. Doesn't he? He streams for like 10 hours a day now, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. When
Well, he made fun of us on there.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That was
pretty
fucked
cool.
up. But yeah, like when that happened, it was like, oh, because it's a 10-hour long stream, somebody find it. And it was like 2 hours in
Yeah.
to a 10-hour long stream. So none of that, but you might catch some other stuff.
Keep your eyes open, basically.
Yeah.
And watch the skies.
Yeah.
Okay. it's just-
No, that's good. That's what we're going for here.
are. Okay.
Speaking of going, let's go on and go to a different segment.
Oh, right. Of course. 2 Minutes of Hate, that very famous, very favorite segment of the show, in which we like to blanket punish all that annoying random crapola that we see on our computers and our phones and
I'm
our
dehydrated, man.
our smart televisions. So without further
I got
ado,
some water. I have a big ass thing of water.
I want to
I
see.
need
I want to
it.
see that. I want to see that empty by the end of the episode.
Dude, it's half empty now.
I want
Or
to
is
see
it
that.
half
I'm
full?
starving.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's half empty.
Oh, okay.
Or is it half full?
Is it?
No.
Okay.
What's
I'm a pessimist.
what is the bad one? Half
half
empty. Or
empty? Because empty is like bad, I guess.
But like when you're saying it's half full, it's like, yeah, it's half full. Like it's not even full.
Oh, you're
Like,
so full. You're so fucking full of yourself.
Yeah,
You have
like-
that big of an ego. Oh, it's half full.
Also, what like the biggest baby brain dumb shit thing ever of like you can decide if a person's a pessimist or an optimist or any viewpoint in life if they say half full or half empty. Like it's so ridiculous.
Well, and I just said it because
Well-
Kevin said I want to see that empty, so I went
Yeah.
empty.
and I want to see this.
I will
full.
have it half empty.
And do you got to work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Damn,
Dude, you're gonna be up all. You're gonna be playing Xbox all night.
nice.
Cheers.
This one's for you,
Gross.
Zwick.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy.
Speaking of happy, Kevin, do you want to do 2 minutes of hate here?
Yeah, sure. Oh yes, of course. This is a continuation of a previous 2 minutes of hate that I brought to the program.
That was good. Part 2.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a continuation on a larger scale.
Ooh.
My 2 minutes of hate this week is joke theft. Again.
Dun dun dun.
Would you believe it, Grant?
I
Brandon?
believe it.
I believe it.
My hilarious viral post of a bag of M&Ms. Could you please pay attention and stop?
I gotta stop. I gotta keep watching the fighting games.
So we in the background, you'll notice what we've been doing the past couple episodes
YouTube.com/ThoughtCops. You can see the
is we've gone on Twitch, and in the background of when we're talking is the Twitch channel Salty Bets, where people, I guess, bet on.
It's the game Mugen, which Mugen is
it's a fighting
tradition.
game.
Yeah, you
a
can
fine tradition.
where any character from anything ever exists. It's like imagine if Game Master Anthony made his own fighting game.
There we go.
Right.
Anyway,
And Brandon can't stop watching it.
It's so fun.
well, I am talking about a very serious topic here.
Yeah, let him. This is important.
Joke theft
I'm
happens all the time on the computer. You post something on there, and then somebody just takes your idea and runs with it. And it first happened with what the hell's that guy's name? President-elect Toguro or whatever.
Right.
One of these ding-dongs on Twitter who just like reposts content, and he has like 20,000 followers because he's like, I'm a loser who steals things, and I suck, and I have self-esteem issues probably in real life.
Not even honoring the tradition of Yu Yu Hakusho, which he took that title from, which is upsetting.
Yeah, worst of all, he's honoring one of anime's or dishonoring one of
Could
anime's
you
greatest
imagine?
villains.
Could you imagine running an account like that has like hundreds of thousands or millions of like whatever, and then the only content is just like you're scrolling through 4chan and you right click and save something and you just like put it on Twitter?
Well, no, it's worse for him because he just steals from the same website,
Right,
and then puts it back on there. So anyway, that happened. I've talked about that in the show before. He DM'd me and quote unquote apologized for it. Whatever.
All the better.
Post disappears.
Presidents should apologize.
It's
They
like
should.
when you have you get a viral post, and then all of a sudden the likes and the retweets stop coming in, the dopamine stops filling up in your brain, and you're like, oh fuck, what do I do now? So anyway,
Right.
I posted this picture, this stupid M&M's thing, and it, what was it, like 2 or 3 months ago, I think.
I don't know.
Seems about right.
And then
I don't really care.
I'm on Instagram the other day, and one of my friends like tags me in the comments like, "Hey, isn't this your post?" And I go to it. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And it's on Instagram. They screenshotted my Twitter post, and they cropped out my profile, my username, and
Right.
just the joke. And then like this thing has like tens of thousands of likes on it, and I go to the page. They have like 500,000 followers. No credit to me. And I was like, hey, just a heads up, this is my joke, and this account steals apparently everything because I went to their profile,
Right.
and it was all stolen shit.
Who's running this account? The Fat Jew?
He goes by the Fat Jewish now.
Because that makes
okay.
it better,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm trying to find.
Did he steal that idea too, or got him?
I think so. I do think so. I can't.
Well, that's the weird thing is like, I think we had mentioned this on when we were on Drink a Beer, Play a Game, which you can go and listen to that episode, which is the
Great
thing I
podcast.
forgot to
Yeah, it just came out.
mention is we guested on Drink a Beer, Play a Game and their Power Hour podcast, and I think I was talking about like, oh yeah, because you brought this up as your 2 minutes of hate on that show.
Well, they don't call it that there. They call
Right,
it.
their 2 minutes of power.
Actually, they didn't even prompt me. I just was like, I got to get this off my chest.
And so
been eating me
but
up.
I made the comparison because it's like we all know the Fat Jewish, F Jerry, all these
I
different.
forgot
like,
about fuck Jew. Fuck Jewy.
Careful,
Oh no! Whoa!
careful.
Yeah. It's okay. Martin Felshman's my friend.
That okay. It's fair then. No, I was gonna say.
A real
Like-
shout out, real quick to this. On the last episode of Podzuku with Mads Horwath, we had to put a disclaimer at the beginning that both Martin and Mads were using the K word a lot, but they are Jewish, so it's fine.
Okay,
Just wanted to get that out there.
that's you.
I mean, now,
Who am I to say?
I
you know?
wouldn't have thought about it if you didn't point it out.
But I made the point of like, there's all these like content stealing brands and we all hate them and we all know their story.
Yeah.
But then like other people do it and it's just like it's similar to that movie where the guy eats the McDonald's
Supersize me?
Supersize Me. And everyone goes, oh, McDonald's is bad for you. Look at this guy. He's vomiting in the McDonald's parking lot because he ate 17 hamburgers.
Yeah, I would not like that to
And
happen
it's
to me.
like,
That would
but there's
suck.
other fast food companies. Like, just because this is the one, you're
Yeah.
making an example out of the one, and then there's millions of people that are stealing content on Twitter, and like nothing really
Yeah, so I go to this
happens.
person's profile. They have a check mark. They're verified on Instagram. Their whole profile is just like stolen memes from Twitter. They have 502,000 followers, including like Eric Andre and some big profile people. And like I was going to the because it would be, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be cool if it was like, oh, liked by Eric Andre. Hey, Eric,
Right.
that's me.
That's my tweet.
yeah.
Sarah.
Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Eric.
You were great on the second season of Righteous Gemstones. Really loved it.
Oh, he's in that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Haven't seen it.
I gotta watch that.
It's so good.
Like we say for everything. Ooh, maybe Fire Bros. No, but so then I obviously this was annoying, and then somebody else tags me, this other account, Trash Can Paul on Instagram with a check mark, again verified, and it's all stolen shit from Twitter and TikTok. They have 2.7 million followers.
Wait, let me see that avatar real quick.
It's Tobias from Arrested Development.
But done in the style of almost Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's like they're stealing two things at
Right.
the same time.
Yeah, what the hell's up with that? But then this person,
That's a good meta commentary on
Thank
those
you.
things, yeah.
But
I'm
it's
very
depressing. It's like you put stuff out there, and it's like I have like 800 followers, and it's like then like an account with 2.7 million followers like screen caps my
Right.
joke.
And it's like you're trying to do something. Like, that's the whole point why I think most of us have a Twitter in the first place, is to promote the shit that
You
we're
think I
trying
want
to
to be
do.
there? You think I'm having fun there? So then this guy, but then like shout out to Jeremy Montez, a friend of the show, who quoted or he commented,
We love
"Ple-
you, Jeremy.
Please credit at Kevin POTUS. This is his tweet." And guess what? He did.
That's also, but it's nice they did that. But why do you have to do that? Why wouldn't
I
they
know.
just do that? in
I
real life?
agree. I agree. But it was still like I got some new followers and stuff, and I'm not like super active on Instagram, but it was still pretty cool. But yeah, like he tagged me in the description. He tagged me in the image. So I guess that's cool.
Yeah, that rules.
And then at first I was like, hell yeah, good for him. And I put that in my Instagram story. I'm like, all right, so I guess there's some good people out there after all. And then one of our listeners of the show like replied to that. And he was like, they make money from that, right?
yeah,
I'm like, oh, he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, the least he could have done was maybe throw you $25 instead of
Right.
just tagging your profile, which I'm like, you did ruin my good mood, but you also made a very good point.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck these people.
fuck Trash Can Paul. Fuck
Jerry.
Patios.
Fuck Jerry.
Remember
That's
that?
what I'm
Fantasy
saying.
World. This is all garbage, and it's also like I go to these profiles, and it's again like it's like followed by a ton of people I know, and like including like celebrities. Like what? It's I don't know. It's like that whole like cottage industry of like Instagram like meme profile pages is so
It's weird.
bottom of the barrel stuff, and it's like you get people like send you stuff like, oh, I saw this Instagram post and whatever, and it's like, yeah, I saw this on Twitter 2 weeks ago because like a friend of mine posted it, and like, oh, lo and
Right.
behold, they're not tagged in it, and it's just like, and they're making money from it.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just like I know it's like that you're not, it's not trademarked or copyrighted or whatever, but it's like my issue is more with like the artistic integrity, where it's like these guys, they're not even
They're doing nothing.
yeah.
and they're verified on Instagram, because it's like on Twitter, at least you don't really see a lot of like, at least from my experience, you don't see a lot of stolen posts from
Well, because you can just like either retweet things or like I feel like typically people will like screenshot tweets on Twitter, like the whole like with the username and everything.
Yeah.
And then also it is just one of those things too where it's just like, I don't know, like you just don't go out of your way to do it, but you do see like that weird sort of like steal farming on like different websites,
but
like
on
Instagram,
on
Facebook.
Instagram, like that's what like was like, this is like part 2 of this like 2 minutes of hate for today, is like it like revealed to me how soulless Instagram is. It's like what like
owned by Facebook.
Yeah.
yeah, that's meta.
There you go.
The meta.
That is meta.
So I mean like whatever, it was like nice of the guy, nice of the big kind strong man to ask like
Via roll.
caption my fucking like Instagram profile page, but it's still like, it's annoying. It's like,
Right.
I was thinking on like how opposite it is for like moral wise to me of like I respect the craft. I would never want to steal any type of comedy, valor, or art. Like even on my group chat that has been active for over 6 years, the Hentai Dojo, which has been mentioned I think multiple times on this podcast by
I believe so.
when I share a screenshot, I literally will still do a snap, and I wanted to show this of what the Instagram handle is when I put it in the chat
Right.
for just friends.
And for the record, Brandon's showing us a stone toss comic. No, I'm just
Yeah.
Oh man, that's messed up.
I'm just kidding.
It's a Mr.
It's
Lovenstein comic, which is very funny. He's a very good comic artist.
But no, I appreciate that too, because it's like when you want to show somebody something, it's like, yeah, you're giving credit to the artist,
Right.
and then they're like, oh, hey, I like this, so this is funny, or this is cool.
There it is.
Now I can go seek out where I can find more of this
Right.
stuff. It's like,
Even-
yeah, if you like my stupid M&M's thing, maybe you could listen to Thought Cops,
Ooh, no,
Even-
thank you.
I will say, and credit given where credit's due, one time I was on Twitter and someone shared a Reddit post, and you can tell because it was like the image, and at the bottom it said like the Reddit username that
Man,
shared
I
it.
hate
And
that.
and at first I was like, LOL, you didn't crop out the Reddit like little tag, like how cringe. And then the person was like, it's so that the poster gets credit for having like posted this,
But
because
they probably stole that shit
but it
too.
could be like an original thing. Like it
True,
depends.
true.
I
But
mean, there's a
also-
lot of stealing that fucking happens
also-
on Reddit too.
Not all heroes wear capes.
It's true.
That is true.
That is also true. But it is one of those things too where it's like, at least they have built into their website, like, hey, if someone shares this, this is where it came from. Like, it's like the bare minimum, because everything on the internet's stolen and everything, like, whatever, like, you can only do so much about it. But it's like the fact that a website can just do that in and of itself is like, it's something. They did something.
Yeah.
It's cringe, but they did something.
Yeah, that is true, but it's like I will go out of my way to crop it usually, because
Yeah, it sucks.
but it depends on
It's
what it is, because
terrible,
it's like if somebody's posting their art to Reddit, that's fine, but it's like it's also like
Right.
the cringe angle of like seeing that like black
It's-
bar at the bottom
it's
of
the
the
new-
orange Reddit logo,
the 9gag watermark.
or like iFunny, like
E-Bombs
ugh,
World.
Get that out of there, you know.
I love a couple of weeks back when Zwick shared something and it had the 9gag watermark.
We fucking tore his ass up.
Still recovering to this day.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, I'd rather be empowered by cringe than emboldened by evil capitalism, you know? Just
Yeah.
say that now.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
Hey,
Monster.
capitalism is cringe. Am I right, fellow kids? Anyway, Brandon, you do your 2 minutes.
Oh wait, I didn't.
Oh
punish
yeah,
him.
no, you
my,
do.
My
your
punishment
finish,
is trash can Paul. You're going in the trash,
Damn, dude.
and all the
Got
rest
him.
you can.
He probably
your heads-
likes. He
you
probably
get-
likes it there.
No, he
Yeah.
goes in the trash, but everybody else who stole that and didn't comment on it, you get your fucking head cut off.
It seems like he actually made out pretty good compared to
Yeah.
everyone else.
I'd rather go in the trash than get my head cut
Well,
off.
he
I
can
like
crawl
my
back
head.
out, but everybody else, yeah, off with their fucking head, guillotine, cut your fucking head off. Do it yourself if you want, but
Brandon, what
what's your 2 minutes of hate, Brandon?
Guillotine. No, I this came with perfect timing. Is
my cat just opened the cabinet and slammed it, and then looked around to see if anyone would acknowledge that she was doing it.
I hate this fucking show.
we get it? You're a genius that can open doors. Just so impressed. Look at this. I got a fucking thumb. You like that? You don't got it. You don't got it.
She's looking at you disdainfully.
You ain't never gonna have thumbs. This is a weird tirade. So
Yeah, go ahead.
a good timing for this one is that today, internet friend Yellow Cardigan, that's at Yellow Cardigan on Twitter, Sarah McHenry, very talented.
Oh yeah, I saw that you were commenting on this.
She's a very
Yeah.
talented, I would say, artist. Maybe is a way to put it in Chicago. She does a lot of zine work and other cool things. Very good comedy writer too, and comedian. But she made a post after retweeting this one, which is, I've muted friendly reminder in quotation marks and let that sink in. But I just saw a tweet that began with, please read every word slowly. And the person said, you think this is a fucking game? You think I won't mute every phrase in the goddamn English language? I'll fucking do it. And this, listen, I'm not here to berate that. That's
right.
That's king shit.
That's
Right.
that's how you use Twitter correctly.
Yeah, and that's why my 2 minutes of hate is dedicated to this. It's a combination, and then also Sarah McHenry put this other phrases replying to this, which is These are other ones that she's muted, which is Daily Reminder That. Great one to mute.
Yep.
Don't know who needs to hear this. Ooh, instant mute. I do not want to.
Nobody
no
needs
one.
to hear that.
Without saying your age. No, thank you.
Nope.
This is one I really like. She put, which is wrong answers only, and then put in parentheses. Do people still do this? I don't know. I've had it muted for so long. I'm here to say, sadly, yes, people still do that.
That's every 2 minutes of hate combined. That's
Yeah.
the super. That's 2 hours of hate right there.
Yeah. So shout out to King Sarah McHenry for getting
Yeah,
this
come
list
on the
together.
show if you're
Yeah.
local. I think you
Yeah,
are.
she's great. Also, her husband Tom McHenry, great comic artist and illustrator. But the thing that I want to make is it's kind of wrapped into a package of I hear people complain all the time about being on Twitter and they're posting on Twitter all the time, which is fine. But like there's so many simple things you can do to make your Twitter experience better more quickly.
Muting things is like muting things, muting people, muting phrases.
Wait,
Like
This is a big one.
I saw you unlocking your phone, and you're like, "There's a really easy fix for this," and I thought you were like dialing 911.
please help.
I saw a bad post.
Joe Biden, please. No, I was pulling up my phone because another thing is a simple one. Like Twitter is insidiously bad off the bat if you're not careful. Like if you go to the top right corner and you hit that little star, you're going to notice if you haven't paid attention, it's set to home setting. And if you don't know what that is, home setting is when Twitter just gives you random tweets that you don't give a shit about and you'll hate. And then it'll ask, would you like to switch to the latest tweet? And you say, fuck yes, never ask me again.
right.
It's, yeah.
I'm usually what the fuck am I?
I
on?
think I'm
latest
usually
tweet.
set
Yeah.
to latest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm on home. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, get out of there. Oh, boy.
Oh, it's disgusting. That's no home of mine.
But that's the thing is like I want to say this because I've said this many times and I say it honestly. I enjoy, this is going to be very controversial. Please mute this phrase. I enjoy Twitter.com and I enjoy tweeting.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. But like if you're having a bad experience, you can cater it to be better. Mute out phrases, make sure it's set to like your latest tweets and not homepage. Like don't just consume garbage that's going to give you psychic damage all day. There's no reason you need to.
Well, it's like we get this criticism a lot as people go, "Oh, you do a whole podcast where you complain about Twitter? Why don't you just turn off Twitter?" I did, and it's like, one, you listen to our show,
Yeah,
you
got you,
idiots.
motherfucker.
Yeah, how pathetic is
You
that?
piece of shit. And
And two, it's like I still like. That's why I'm on there. If I didn't want to be on there,
There's some good
I
stuff.
wouldn't
There's
be
some
on
good
there.
stuff.
And
all
like,
right?
there's a lot
some
of
good stuff.
and there's like a lot of good like connections that we've made with people over the years from doing this show and from being on these websites and like past guests and stuff like that and keeping up with people's work and stuff like that. Like there's good stuff to get out of it and there's bad stuff, but that's also like it's fun to get together with your friends and complain about bad stuff and laugh about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's therapeutic. It's like, oh, I don't like going on Twitter. Like, oh, well, why don't you just stop using Twitter? It's like, what if you go into therapy and you're explaining your problems? Like, why don't you just kill yourself?
And here's
Oh,
my
you hate life so much. Why don't you just fucking kill yourself?
KYS baby. Here's my thing. Here's my galaxy brain moment from this, which is if you mute all of the phrases that you want to and you set it to homepage or you set to latest tweets and you do everything right, when the really bad takes get to your Twitter, you know they're going to be the cream of the crop bad shit. The one that just tickles your brain in the wrong way that you love so much. So I'm actually here to advocate
It's
get
wrong,
it to where
but it's so right.
Yeah, you need to get it to the fucking Cell Saga power level bad tweets that are making your way. Not just the bad bottom of the barrel. I want the cream of the crop if it's making it my Twitter timeline. So basically what I'm saying is complaining rules. And like
Complaining is fine.
It's healthy. It's healthy.
Who are these people that don't complain about things? That's what I would. Nobody doesn't not complain. It's like
narcs.
okay.
It's narcs. It's literally narcs.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all actually coming from
What, you're going to complain about people complaining? Why don't you start a podcast?
And this is what I'm actually getting to. There's another podcast I quite like called Anime Sickos, and they have a whole episode that's called Complaining Rules.
Oh yeah, they're Chicago people, right?
Yeah, they're Chicago people, really great outfit. But they had a whole episode explaining of like, listen, you're going to see people saying like, oh, you're complaining so much. Why are you doing this? It's so stupid. It's like, here's the thing. Complaining rules. That's like our battle against narcs and capitalism is like, they want you to be a good little boy and be like, oh, we shouldn't complain. We can't make that Marvel movie. Maybe you thought, did you think about that? It's like, no, I can't.
Well,
but you know what? It fucking sucks.
That's
And I
also
hate it.
The inherent basis of any form of criticism is to criticize.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have opinions and make things better unless some of those opinions are negative. And I think the issue is that there's a fucking lot of negativity and that sucks sometimes.
Right.
But that, like, I think that there's negativity because for a lot of people, shit's bad.
It's really
and
bad.
you want things to not be bad anymore. Like, that's really the only thing.
It's really bad. Like, we are victimizing Russia right now out there. Can you believe it? No, sorry. What if I had a really weird take like that? And also, I think Israel. Okay, no, I would say my judgments for this of people who it's really about a balancing act, because I'm going for two things: people who complain too much but don't do anything about it, but also people who don't complain and are being little narcs. So what I'm saying is just my judgment: get your shit together. Come on, man. Come on, man. just get it together.
Come on, man.
Come on. Like, just take your time to balance your life, figure out what internet experience is going to be right for you. If you absolutely hate something, you're going on there every day, get rid of it. I love Twitter. I'm still on Twitter. I know there's a lot of issues. I hated Facebook, so I deactivated my Facebook, and it rules. I do not miss it one bit. So, yeah.
I still have mine. I just don't look at it.
What's I was gonna say what else is there? I'm like TikTok, Instagram. That's about it.
Yeah.
And all those websites suck. But also,
I heard
they're all a
Parler's
lot of
pretty good.
fun. Yeah, Parler's great. There's no complaining on Parler. You just agree with everyone and just give everyone a virtual high five.
There's
That
Club
sounds
Penguin.
awesome. Yeah.
We got Club Penguin still.
Well,
I
that rolled
wish,
into
man.
Parler.
I
Yeah.
wish.
Yeah. Club Penguin ended, and they kind of used the server to make Parler.
Yeah, who knew that I never guessed this, but I guess the Penguins are really into white power. It's really strange to me, because they're also got a little black on them.
Yeah, it's weird because like the little
Tuxedos.
iceberg,
They
the
have
iceberg
tuxedos.
they all hang out on was like completely empty on January 6th. And I'm like,
I got
I'm
a
like,
little iceberg theory about that, baby.
where did they all go? I wonder. Grant, what's your 2 minutes of hate?
My 2 minutes hate is complaining about people that complain about things more so, and the use of the term pandering in any criticism. Because I get it, and there are times when something is only pandering. Like, so one of the videos that I've sort of been working on has been that I'm doing sort of like an extra review of that PragerU. The video where it's like the guy dressed up as a cop and he's like, hey, what is this? And he's holding up like an Aunt Jemima bottle and he's like, what's, and it's like, that's pandering because
you mean the video that happens when you go to YouTube and search for Thought Cops? It's one of the first things that come up. That one?
Hell yeah.
That one? Yeah.
Hey, so that might be a good way to latch on to that success of that video is to, so I've been working on like sort of like a reaction take to that and stuff like that, because I figured that would be fun content to sort of throw out there. We talked about it a year ago on the podcast. We never really did too much more with it. I was like, let me try a different format, whatever. But that is like bad pandering. That's one of those things where it's like, oh, hey, look, oh, Aunt Jemima, oh, what? Oh, you got, and it's like, there's no joke. You didn't write a joke. That's like when you say pandering and there's no content, there's no substance.
The joke is funny like when they agree with you.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's
so true.
That's a level of pandering. And then there's also things where it's like good joke, like good setup, good format, good whatever, but it has like a certain political slant or whatever, and then people go, they're pandering to their audience, and it's like, I don't know if I agree with that being like a criticism of something. Like, everything's gonna have some sort of like internal take or in some sort of like I even hate to use the term politics because I don't think that it's politics, but some sort of like cultural vein that like keeps things grounded in some form of substance that we can all sort of go, this is an agreed upon reality that we all exist in, and we're either taking it one way or we're taking it another way, and sort of you can interpret it to whatever sort of degree you would like to. But that in and of itself, to make something that is worthwhile but that has a viewpoint, like, is not like pandering. And that's like one thing that I feel like I'll watch like a video that I think is funny or like a sketch that I think is funny, and people go, oh, they're just pandering to the left, or oh, they're just pandering to their base. They're pandering to this is very pandery. I think that it's funny, but it's very pandery, and it's like, I don't know if that's like like if you think that it's good, I don't know if that's like pandering.
Yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off right away, because it's one of those phrases that if you break it down, they're saying, oh, so the audience that they're appealing to, they want them to enjoy this? What a bunch of fucking idiots.
It's weird. Like, I get going out of your way to just purely push forward some sort of reaction with no substance and no work and no effort put in, and to just be like, hey, everybody agrees with me, right? You know? You get Steven Crowder puts on a dress and says, hey, I'm a trans woman, and you go, ha 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 ha. That's like pandering.
Yeah.
But to make like a Marvel movie and then to have like a diverse cast of people, and then they're pandering to it's just like, no, they made a movie and you just don't like that there's POC in the movie. Like, that's not pandering. That's just called.
Meanwhile, I'm like, get some POD in that movie. Let's get some Christian rock going, finally.
Hell yeah.
That reference is for 5 people.
I was one of them.
Yeah, thank you.
People know POD, right?
I feel like that
They have to.
Yeah, they were big enough in the early aughts.
I tell
right?
you though, people these days seem to be more interested in POD casts.
I
Thank
thought
you for listening.
Yeah, thank
I
you so
thought you were
much.
going to say
Like and subscribe.
POD's nuts.
That's
I
also
thought
pretty
you were
good.
going to say that they were.
No, that's below me.
I don't know why, but when you're talking, I instantly imagine the perfect like kind of gauge for if they're pandering. If what they're saying, you can imagine one of those little wind-up monkeys with the cymbals going off.
Yeah,
That's when you know
exactly.
That's when you know it's pandering.
Yeah. Because like again, for that PragerU video where the guy's like the thought police officer or whatever, it's like there were people that are like, this is the funniest thing that I've ever seen, and it's like there's no way that you think that.
I mean,
Like,
it's not funny.
I'm sorry.
Number 1, you suck. Number 2, cut your own head off.
even
like the other.
I'm really liking this
was,
guillotine approach tonight.
Even if I was the target audience, I would be like embarrassed to find that funny. Like there's no jokes
It's
in it.
okay. This is
It's
a perfect
just
example.
reference.
Is like as a person who does comedy and
Yeah.
would consider themselves stand-up comedian sometimes. There's that video going around today of the one woman who started doing stand-up when the movie went out. Did you all know about this?
Oh
No,
fuck! No,
no.
I meant to watch that.
That's going to be a future episode, I guarantee, when it comes in the zeitgeist.
should we like? Is this
well,
like
we
a?
don't want to play. You know,
Yeah, it's
keep it
really.
simple for this episode.
I can put in a.
I'll do a short
Sure,
explanation. So
sure.
there's a people at the screening of The Batman. I believe it was in Los Angeles or some location like that. And something happened with the projector, and they were just
Hollyweird, I like to call it.
Yeah.
more like Hollywood. Wait, that's just the correct term. The screener,
I Hollywouldn't.
Yeah. So the screen went blank, and they brought up the lights in the theater, and they said, you know, we're having some technical difficulties. Give us a few minutes. And a woman said that this is my time to stand up and start doing stand up to a crowd of people. It gets better. She is a person that says she's both a comedian and also a medium, a psychic
right.
medium.
This is good.
And I can only describe it as it's like a I think you should leave character came to life. Like it was
Okay.
it was very hard to watch. And literally
Oh, you
starting
mean the joke goes on for way too long?
it goes on for way too long, and there's one point where
There's
she's
a lot
like,
of yelling.
there's a lot of yelling. At one point there's where she's just going like like that. And it's hard. It's hard to watch.
Next time that happens, like we're at a movie and the screen goes blank, like, hey guys, just want to take a second, check out a podcast we do called Thought Cops. This is the most inappropriate time. I know you're all in a bad mood, but go ahead and check that out.
Actually, I brought my equipment real quick. If anybody wants to be a guest, I'm gonna have it set up in about 5 minutes.
yeah, just give us 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie's coming back on. Could you wait?
Everybody be quiet. We need to get some room tone real quick.
Could you not turn the movie back on?
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, it's the clip's very hard to watch. It's I just feel embarrassed for everyone involved. I mean, just for there's times in life when it doesn't feel good when somebody's like, "Shut the fuck up." But that's one where if somebody stood up and
right.
did that, everybody would just be like, "Yes, thank you, mean man. Thank you so much."
Right. Yeah, even like just like thinking about the movie The Batman, there was like the one like did you see it? Did you
No,
guys-
I'm seeing it actually Sunday with Luke. So
Oh, okay.
you could
Should
spoil.
I
Yeah.
there's like one line
No, you can
in the
spoil it.
movie
Yeah.
where some character. The bad guys are like the corrupt politicians, the Gotham-y people, the higher ups that are sort of pulling the strings from, in the dark. They're pulling some strings.
Yeah.
And someone goes, these I'm tired of white men ruling everything. And some people went, oh, they made a 3-hour movie. And one line, they said something about white men. And then people go, oh, they're pandering. They're pandering to their audience. It's just like the point of that movie was not the one line.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. It's that thing that I saw that tweet going around today too of like what good is it breaking the glass ceiling if you're just genociding everyone below it? It's just like you don't got a girl boss. You got a boss girl.
Yeah.
Think about it. Boss baby.
I've stopped thinking about it.
Okay.
So I guess my punishment is pandering. Why don't you pantomime what your opinion is next time you want someone to listen to you?
Okay.
You go, this Batman's woke now. You have to go
woke.
You have to become Mario and
I want it to be like full,
Super Mario
full charades where you like do the fingers like
RPG.
2. Yeah, 2. Okay, here's 2.
Yeah.
First one.
But you do like the pantomime. Yeah, that's what you have to do. You can only complain through your bodily movements. Let's just do the rest of the show.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
That's fine.
This one?
Yeah, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news
Without
stories.
fail.
And then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and quite often unusual punishment. Yeah, let's go to that top one there, Grant.
Done and done.
Oh, hell yeah. Every week I'm like, are they going to do it again this time? And without fail.
We always
right.
do. Except some of the weeks when we miss, but that's not too often.
Everybody's been wondering, will they go goblin mode? Well, guess what? Tonight we are.
How did they come back full
folks?
circle?
So this was a term that was Julia Fox did or didn't use the term goblin mode. She's like, she's dating Kanye West.
I forgot about that.
I think it was a fake quote actually, where someone
it
said
was.
She
Yeah.
to go goblin mode, but then the term goblin mode caught in the zeitgeist for some reason, and people
makes
started
sense.
saying it.
What was the actual quote?
Well, here I just want to read this article from The Guardian. The headline says, "Slobbing out and giving up. Why are so many people going goblin mode?" This also counts as our word of the week this week, goblin mode. So the term embraces the comforts of depravity, spending the day in bed watching 90 Day Fiancé on mute while scrolling endlessly through social media, pouring the end of a bag of chips in your mouth, downing Eggo toaster oven waffles with hot sauce over the sink because you can't be bothered to put them on a plate.
This is just called my life. I don't know what
isn't
the
this
fuck
like how
is.
everybody's parents lived?
This actually sounds like a friend of the show. Oh, weird. Anyway, yeah, that's goblin mode. Goblin mode is like when you wake up at 2 a.m. and shuffle into the kitchen wearing nothing but a long t-shirt to
2
make a
a.m.
weird
or
snack.
2 p.m.?
2 a.m.
buddy.
2 a.m.
To make
Either
a weird
one.
snack like melted cheese on saltines. It's about... This is where it gets stupid.
Is this goblin mode or just
This
you
is
have a marijuana habit?
This is goblin mode. They said it's about... I can't believe I have to say this out loud. It's about a complete lack of aesthetic. Because why would a goblin care what they look like? Why would a goblin care about presentation?
Oh, cool. They're using the phrase aesthetic wrong, too.
It's like, why does this have to be a thing? Like this is basically goblin core. Or one
That
of these,
sounds cool.
It sounds cool, but it's not cool.
That's how I want to start dressing, as goblin core.
Also, I'm fucking pissed off as someone who's been playing D&D since middle school. Goblin mode to me is killing level 1 adventurers, taking their gold, having rusty swords, and using arrows that aren't well made, but you could still take the bow and use it for later if you need it.
That's a good goblin.
That's a good goblin
That's
mode.
a classic goblin.
So apparently the term goes back to as far as 2009. There's even a tweet they linked to here from February 10th, 2009.
Oh,
this
that's what the world's worst research looks like.
Yes.
Right there. Look at that.
It says I was in full hyperactive goblin mode last night.
You and me both, buddy.
This is kind of like, I guess it's in third person, like it's Facebook. It was as if she ate a bag of sugar-coated candy and then washed it down with a few Red Bulls. Goblin mode.
We should just clip in 10 minutes of silence after that.
Yeah. More or less. That is, I guess, yeah. Now it's like the Guardian is writing about it. Like this is some sort of epidemic or something.
Right. I think that this ties into nobody wants to work.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to work, but they want to sit home in their little pajamas, hanging out with their family, playing with their children,
It's so
caring
goblin.
for their animals. Such goblin. I swear to God, this all plays into that shit.
Look at this fucking loser who doesn't want to spend 2 hours commuting for no reason just so they can be able to hit their boss in a soulless, white to blue painted cubicle.
Human beings are social creatures, and by that it means we have to go to a job that you fucking hate, hang out with people you don't like, to pretend to be on Facebook while you should be working, but knowing that if you sort of like just pop open a tab when the boss walks behind you, that it doesn't really matter. That's what human beings are meant to do. You're not supposed to, I don't know, be around your loved ones, get restful sleep.
Nope.
Enjoy things.
Enjoy your life. You're supposed to sit
Put on a full
train
three-piece
for
suit
an
when you're
hour
home
and
for
a
some
half.
reason.
Yeah.
They say here, call it a vibe shift or a logical progression into
hate
nihilism after years of pandemic-induced disappointment. But Goblin mode is here to stay. And why shouldn't it? Who are we trying to impress anyway? As one Goblin mode audio says, if you can't handle me in Goblin mode, you don't deserve me at my sleigh.
Am I allowed to break glass? Can I just grab this glass and smash it against
Because
the floor?
it's mine, no, but when you leave my apartment, you're free to do anything you want.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing the closest beer bottle I see full of piss and I'm
Just go
throwing it
outside
to the ground.
and just start fucking blazing shit.
There are a lot, so
Yeah, I'm smashing that piss.
So yeah, I mean, this is like, I don't know.
insulting.
It's
Again.
like, why do we have to have such a stupid name for this? Why do we have names for every tiny fucking thing?
Oh, man, we talked about it on Drink Beer Play a Game, but it's again like the reinventing of things that already exist by just putting a new branding on it. And like my go-to example was radical monogamy.
Right.
Which is just like monogamy is already a thing.
That's monogamy with skateboarding, right?
And they're like, oh, well, people are doing it, but they're cool. Like the whole like conservatism is the new punk rock. Monogamy is actually really cool. If you're monogamous, it's just like most people are still.
So this is like also like back in the 90s, they just called this like being a slacker.
Yeah.
You know? Like how many? Like remember all like the '90s like slacker comedies?
Yeah.
Like imagine Happy Gilmore.
Like Slacker?
But, Happy Gilmore is the ultimate Goblin mode movie. You know, it's just like why? Yeah, or Slacker. Just actually, I call it Goblin.
Jeez. And I'm not talking about the Italian synth band from the late 70s to early 80s.
I wasn't. You're right about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such fucking stupid shit. And like you said, having a term for everything of just like, just fucking live your life. It's that thing of like, I'm 36, man. Whatever I'm doing, I'm just doing.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
You're just existing.
I don't got to have a reason. I enjoy my life quite a bit. I've never had to be like, well, I need to find a term for this. It's like,
Well,
nah.
it's also one of those things too where like I feel like I try and like swing back around to this point every once in a while, especially when we get too heavily into the political shit, is that like not everything's fucking political, but there's a lens upon which people look at everything as political and go like, all these kids go in goblin mode. This needs to stop.
Exactly.
We need to reinvigorate the American economy. Everybody needs to get back to work. Hey, don't put on a pair of pajamas. Put on a stupid fucking suit. Tie a colorful tie around your neck and fucking hang yourself with it in the employee locker room. You know,
That'd be a
And
cool
cut
way
off
to
your
go
own
to
head
something.
too.
Yeah,
And
cut it off too.
cut off your own head.
Do you do the tie thing, but like jump out a window at such high velocity that your head gets flung off?
Yeah.
That would fucking rule, dude.
True.
I want to get to.
Oh yeah.
this
Well,
next
let's think of the
story.
punishment though. Goblin mode. I guess.
Yeah, as you're thinking the punishment, I'm gonna go grab a prop real fast,
Okay.
and then go ahead.
Well, yeah, I would say that. I think that's a good punishment, though. Like, you know, the opposite of goblin is business or business casual. So imagine, like you said, just you're in a full 3-piece suit. You got your tie on, and you just jump out the window with the tie tied to something tight.
I was gonna say the opposite of a goblin is either a kobold or maybe possibly a Lilith. Leo.
Okay, so like what would kobold mode be? Kobold mode be?
Kobold mode would be getting all the gold you could, worshiping your dragon god that gave you life, and then most importantly, killing anything to gain their shiny objects.
And that's capitalism.
Yeah, actually, so point proven.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Kobold mode right there, baby.
Well, speaking of capitalism,
Can you believe this thing? Capitalism? It sucks. I hate it.
what's the deal with
Doesn't feel good.
So this is a poor segue, but there was a series of tweets that went viral that were really funny, and I want to read them on the
Oh
show.
my god! Please let them. Are they the wife one?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, I saw this.
Okay.
This is good, and I brought a prop with.
This is a good one too. That's really stupid.
I got my beanie here. This went viral
That
on
was
Twitter.
the
It was
prop
trending.
You ran to go get.
Yeah, I needed this.
Okay.
You don't look like you hate minorities enough though.
Excuse me, I am a
There we go.
minority.
Okay,
I'm
there we
half
go.
Okay, people all my life have been saying that I'm a white supremacist, but actually I couldn't be any further from white. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I am a skate punk.
How come
And
he's not the one that got shot? That's so sad.
who got shot?
Yeah.
Not Tim Pool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know about
I'm gonna
shooting.
get banned on Twitter for this episode.
Right.
That's
But
fine.
so Tim Pool went viral for a very silly tweet that was very funny, and I want to read it. I want to read
so
it
good.
in his tone of voice, wearing his hat. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the hat for yourself. I do take this off.
If you're not watching, please imagine a hat on Grant's head.
It's good. It's much better if you imagine the hat.
Yeah.
He says, I went to dinner with my girlfriend and was told it was a 20-minute wait.
Nothing. Literally no time.
Yeah. What the?
20-minute, like, whatever. Like, that's like you, like, stand outside and you play on your phone for, like, 3 minutes and they go, oh, actually, you can... Just kidding. It's not 20
I've
minutes.
literally wasted 20 minutes trying to figure out a Wordle and not even realize that 20 minutes have passed
I've waited
away.
90 minutes to get into a Bennigan's.
I'm
And
so
no, you
sorry.
had the honor of waiting 90 minutes to get into Bennigan's.
Rest in peace,
Is Bennigan still around? No.
Kind
they're
of.
gone.
It's
Is there, like, one?
yeah, it's that weird franchise thing where a few of them remain.
It's like in one or two airports, probably.
Mm.
Something weird like that. Anyway.
After only a few minutes, a couple walked in and was seated right away. I complained and left right away. I don't tolerate bullshit, and I don't tolerate people who think I should care when they do. Let's tweet one from Tim Pool. He doesn't tolerate bullshit. Again, all I can think is,
Hell yeah, brother.
yeah. What's the
Tim Heidecker.
the Tim Heidecker? No more bullshit.
No more bullshit.
No more bullshit. I don't tolerate bullshit, but he goes on. Let me click this so I can read it better. He goes, this is about he went to a diner and they didn't seat him right away. They sat somebody else right away. He says, I worked for a major corporate news outlet and was paid hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's right, Toonami.
When they told me to get woke, I said no and tried to break my contract. I don't tolerate bullshit. He said BS, but
Maybe
He probably-
stop sleeping on the job.
probably ran out of
Character
space.
limit, yeah.
Yeah.
If you do, by all means, do you, but don't come to my sad because you won't stand.
Yeah, what
If-
the fuck does that mean?
if
Yeah,
you
no,
do-
Grant's reading this correctly. He does not know how to type. This
Don't come to my sad because you won't stand up for yourself?
my side? Do you think meant to say side?
Is that like an abbreviation for something?
If you do, by all means, do you, but
Super
don't
awful
come to my
dick.
Don't come
side
to my
because
sad
you won't.
Super awful
because
dick.
You won't.
Don't come to my super. It
Does
makes
anybody
sense.
like clarify what that is in the replies?
No, I don't know. But he continues. There's more. He says, I agree. I'm often arrogant and
And
condescending.
end of tweet. Right there. End of tweet. Great.
Yeah. You just leave that.
Oh, there's
there,
more.
yeah.
Oh, damn it.
I'm a disagreeable person, overconfident, and I troll people on Twitter for fun. Oh, you must have invented that. But it's as they say, well-behaved women seldom make history. That's good. Because you see, he's a man.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
he's doing
Yeah, yeah.
like a gent like.
It's like a swap.
Yeah, it's like if he were to put on a dress and we'd all sort of
Okay,
laugh at
now-
like Bugs Bunny, sort of.
God,
you guys
he's
remember
so
Bugs
fucking
Bunny?
high.
Dude, he's so fucking funny.
Dude, he'd like
Oh yeah, funny. Sorry.
Elmer Fudd would be like walking around trying to shoot him, and he'd put on a dress, and Elmer Fudd would like be like
Start
in love
fucking
with
him in the ass.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Bugs would take off the dress, and he'd be like, "Ha ha, you're gay."
It's like, oh god damn it!
Now, I'm going to say this. If he actually at the end of the tweet said, well-behaved woman suddenly make herstory, that'd be fucking funny as shit, dude.
That would have been better.
That honestly would have been.
He should
I would have had to reevaluate
crowdsource his tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that tweet a few days ago, and my first thought is like, he does being a bad human bad, even. Like, he's not even good at being a shitty dude. Like, the bar is so low, but somehow he's gone under it.
He does a lot of those tweets where he says something that's completely in character with what he would say and what he would think. And then he would go, I can't believe how many people have responded to this. I was obviously joking. And it's just like, I don't think anybody cares whether or not you were joking, man.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
So that's the Tim Pool content for the week.
The cats are fighting in their backpack.
Nice.
The cats are trying to
Well, you got some
destroy
major.
Kevin's
What's going on
backpack.
in the backpack? You got some major ganja in there? What's going on, dude?
They're just
No, they're just having a slap
the
fight.
smaller cat's hiding underneath my backpack and.
So how do we
slapping
punish
me.
Tim Pool?
Oh,
Do we
yeah,
rip
the
his
show.
hat off?
Do you think?
do you think-
head off?
Do you think like have you guys seen the movie Joe Dirt?
Yeah, of course.
And you
Yeah.
know
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
the wig is like to cover his exposed part of brain. Do you think that that's true of Tim Pool?
Yeah.
That like if you rip off
If you
his
take off
hat,
the beanie?
you rip off his beanie that there's just like exposed brain.
I like to imagine it's the little alien from Men in Black.
Okay,
piloting
that's
him.
good too.
Yeah.
I like that. So what? We take his alien out and chuck him across
But when
the
you
street.
open it, the little alien side's got a big old fat bliff, just a big old doinker, just smoking it in there.
All right.
He's high as fuck, dude.
I just googled Tim Pool without hat.
It's bad.
Oh
No.
boy,
It's
that is a weird fucking
you
head
can
shape.
see why he keeps it on.
Yeah, it's this is kind of funny.
My-
He's got like a shoe on his head.
He could also like shave the. He could just go full bald.
Yeah, that's the one
he
thing.
would
Is
look
like
normal if he went full bald.
my hair's thinning pretty quickly, so I decided to shave it like during the pandemic, and I was very happy to see I have like a normal head shape. So I'm glad I have an option. But this guy, he's got to figure something out. He should do that thing where he gets like permanent tattoos of like hair on his head.
You can just. He's rich enough. He can get hair implants.
Oh, I think he should invest in a guillotine instead.
Yeah, you're right.
Put his fucking.
You know, it's so
fat neck
weird.
under.
Like, there's even like an excerpt here. It's like in 2013, he worked for Vice, and he did it like
Yeah, that's where he like came to some level of prominence, and
a lot of these guys did, and it wasn't that long ago when you really think about
Right.
it. It's weird to think
His-
about like who now that we see is like whatever is going to be like who knows what
his
tomorrow.
big comeuppance was like a lot of the Occupy Wall Street stuff, and
And we did it, guys.
another thing was he was one of like the first people to get Google Glass.
That's what I just saw.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
To this day, it drives me crazy they did not call it Google goggles. It is so upsetting to me on every level.
Googles.
Google
Googles
goggles.
would be good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame Tim Pool. Also, still wearing the beanie with the Google Glass.
Yeah. Well, he never takes the beanie off.
Sometimes he does.
One time someone took it off of his head and he said, "This will get me killed and I'll kill you for taking off my hat."
God, that sounds dope.
I just want
Yeah.
to gif of somebody stealing.
Yeah.
Dude, he's super pissed in that. He's like, "Antifa is trying to murder me."
I took off his beanie.
God, man, I wish that was me.
Anyway, let's do one more here.
Should we do
yes.
This is good. So
you've heard of White Boy Summer, Hot Girl Summer. Get ready for Short King
Spring.
this is from the New York Post. This is
That's
A
right,
reputable news organization.
honestly, I
Spring
feel
has
like
sprung, but not too much.
we use the New York Post a lot because there's no like subscribe to read the full article. It's just like, hey, this
if
is
you're
dog
getting your
shit.
ass
You
beat
fucking
in the
read
comments
it.
by New York Post because you don't do that, you got to take off that subscribe thing, man.
I'll be honest too. New York Post has good SEO, and their articles get shared around, so they're doing something right. And we do a lot of their fucking stories on Thought Cops
we're
because they
talking
make
about
the
it.
rounds. So,
The article here says
Yeah.
it's officially Short King Spring, and these fellas are soaring. So after years of getting the short end of the stick, TikTok has declared
There's
that
gonna be a lot of
the
those.
little guys deserve royal treatment. Short kings is the new wave. Sorry to y'all giraffes. I guess that's what they're calling tall people. So yeah, dubbed
That's
Short King
racist.
Spring on social media.
I'm not against the drafts. Are cool as hell, dude.
Single New Yorkers are looking for love who are less than 5'8", who have been notoriously short-sighted on dating apps.
They gotta
See, I
stop using
told
that
you.
short.
Is
form.
that so? Is that like the cutoff for tall,
What?
5'8"?
I've heard 5'10", but
Because-
if you ask people, they're going to give you different answers. But I've always heard like 5'10" is like the
I don't think that's
short people. No, I think that short people say that they're 5'10" because in their head they
Okay.
think that that's a tall height. So it's probably closer to 5'8".
Because I feel like, yeah, there's like 5'8" feels like that's normal. You know, like 5'8" to 5. You know, let's say 5'6" to 5'10" is normal. Anything over that's like tall. But like, I'm surprised. I mean, I know it's like maybe they're blaming dating apps because it's like they're saying like, oh, you know,
You can set the height.
Well,
anyone
that
who-
is one of those areas where it's like it's okay to body shame people, or it's not okay to body shame people for most things, but like your height is sort of like, haha, let's make little jokes about it, which as a taller gentleman, I find to be pretty shitty that people would make negative comments about something that people don't have any control over.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
really don't. Though I do remember that one tweet many years back of like, how come you short people are out there when you can just go to the gym? The one woman who thought that you could work out taller. God, once again, Twitter fucking rules, dude.
Was that the crux of the joke, or was that
no?
like,
It was a woman who honestly thought that you could get taller by working out, and she tweeted
Oh,
out there, and
man.
people had a field day with it. God, it's such a good tweet. That's the reason. This is going back to my segment, I know, but still talking about why I love Twitter. It's so fun because you can post anything on there, but also insane people just put their thoughts out there, and you get to see them.
Right.
That is a gift.
right?
That is a gift.
You
no
don't
one should
get
ever
that
take
from
away.
like, it's like when you're within your friend group and you realize that like you have one friend that has like one very particular stupidity that they
Yeah.
don't know that the sun revolves around the earth, vice versa.
A
Whatever.
very
like, they're just-
specific one is a friend of mine, Khalil Wilson, honestly believes that the government put dinosaur bones in the earth and that
I've heard
dinosaurs
that,
weren't real. And what a great belief. It has never stopped giving me entertainment in my life.
Is that like a sincerely held belief?
Oh, it is
Is
100%.
that's like a
held.
creationist
Yeah.
sort of.
He's not even a creationist. He just believes that specifically, which rules.
Fair enough.
But to bring it back is like, it's that weird article going on about where you don't even need to talk about it. Like, short people are getting more dates. Good. Like, I'm not against it. Great. Like, I didn't
Well,
realize it was a
there's-
thing.
Yeah, there's like a picture of Spider-Man and
Michi.
what?
Oh, Zendaya is
Zendaya,
Michi.
she's Michi.
She's Michi.
Didn't you hear?
Yeah.
What?
That's some dumb fucking video.
Sorry,
from, like,
I'm-
3 years ago.
Yeah.
But
It's pretty good.
anyway, yeah, Short King Spring. Shout out to Short Kings, and like you said, it's like, someone in the article here like tries to justify it because they're like, women are constantly scrutinized for the way they look. It's the one place that they can feel like they actually can take back the power.
I don't think that
But it's
that's.
like, what if this is the nicest guy and he's just short? And they're like, oh, fuck you, you're short. And
I don't
guys
think-
over 6 feet only. And it's
That's
like,
also not good to be like, well, because I'm so bullied, I'm going to bully you over. Like,
Yeah,
that's how we
that's-
create like an inequitable negative.
There's also the third layer of just
worldview.
making completely binary, where it's just male and female dynamic, and then like nothing else exists too.
Well, it's also like the
Right.
the person who bullied you, they're bullying you because someone else bullied them. So if you're bullying someone else, they're gonna bully somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How about we just think of there's certain things that are okay to bully people over, and there's certain things where it's just like we can do better. We don't need to make fun of short men.
yeah. Like
we
Tim
don't need to
Pool,
be
for
dragging
example. We don't
them.
have to make fun of him.
We do have to make fun of them because he wears a stupid hat that is stapled to his head
Well, let's-
that he refuses to remove.
Can we
he
at least
hasn't
just give
washed
him the
it
rest of the
in
spring?
decades.
It's his time.
Is he short? I don't know how big Tim Pool
I
is.
believe he is. I thought he was like notorious.
I think he's 4'3".
Fuck him. What's he, a dwarf?
Oh no, he's 5. For some reason, I thought he was
He's
short.
5'10".
He's 5'10",
Yeah. See, this is what I was saying.
yeah.
He's 5'10".
But with his head on, he's 6'2". He's wearing 5-gallon hats. So what are the seasons now? So we have Short King Spring,
White Boy Summer.
White Boy Summer. I'm gonna say Mall Goth Fall.
I like that.
Yeah.
And winter. We gotta have winter.
Winter is coming, Jon Snow. Rally the Bannisters. The North is coming.
Goblin Winter.
Goblin Winter. I love that video game. One of my favorites.
That sounds legit.
Yeah.
Goblin Winter.
Yeah. Goblin Mode Winter.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like that's more like because we were trying to, like, before we recorded the show, like, where did all this come from? And it was like Hot Girl Summer, like Hot Boy Summer, and that was like a song, and then it turned into White Boy Summer.
Yeah.
And I remember that video, and I remember watching
Remember
that
when
video, and he
people
was
were like,
guys, it's gonna be a White Boy Summer. And
remember
it's
when
just
people
why
were like
did- why-
surprised that like Chet Hanks had used the N-word? Like, yeah, of course. Absolutely, it makes sense.
Honestly, I was surprised that he talked in a normal accent because I'd only ever before heard him doing the Jamaican accent, and part of me was like, oh, he probably just grew up there. And then I was like, no, wait, no, that's Tom Hanks' son. He didn't grow up in Jamaica.
What if?
He might have gone to boarding school in Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know? We don't know.
Come on, Dad. Come on.
Now, son, I'm going to need you to stop talking like that. Okay, it's not appropriate.
His dad's Peter Griffin. I thought it was Tom Hanks.
Oh
That's-
boy.
I don't like to hear that that's the only impression I can do.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, man.
Come on, Chris, we're going to Jamaica.
Oh, freaking sweet.
Now, I was thinking he's more like Stewie, and then Colin Hanks is like Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who gives a fuck? What?
Nah, mad respect for Colin Hanks in that season of Fargo. Fucking killed it.
True.
So good.
Anyway, let's move on.
Not everything is politics, but everything is Family Guy.
So fucking true.
This is a new T-shirt right there.
Let's move on to something positive, something swell, something nice for a change. Thought Cop's Key to the City, where we like to give a key to our fair city of Neo-Chicago out to something cool we saw this week. This has been on the dock for a while.
This is good.
My 2 minutes of it. No,
I'm gonna follow
my
this.
key to the city goes to Ben Hughes. Actually, not that one. I was gonna say that
not
later.
this one? Damn. Well, I followed it anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Ben Hughes. This is Ben Hugh 264222354 on Twitter. This is a guy who he has a fetish of some kind for drawing all of the Simpsons female characters in
ninja uniforms.
In ninja.
Sorry,
attire.
Ninja geese.
And he does these posts where it's like he has an image of like every single Simpsons female character all in this like hapdash.
Right.
Once again, this
Collage.
is why Twitter's great. Insane people just go on there and tell you what they're thinking.
Right.
Like for example, like, you know, obviously there's like the war in Ukraine going on right now. He had an image where it was all like a collage of every single female character who's ever appeared on The Simpsons, all kind of like different sizes and shapes, just kind of stretched out over this image. And it said like the Simpson. Let me find a good example here. The Simpsons females look in disappointment at Vladimir Putin, and it's a picture of all the Simpsons females, and then like a picture of like Putin.
It reminds me of
Got him.
It reminds me of the picture that Tamers 1 2 3 4 5 drew of when
See, it's not
when
a Thought
Stan
Cops
Lee-
episode until Tamers is on.
when Stan Lee died, and it was like all the Tamers characters, and then like Batman and Superman. And it was like rest in peace, Stan Lee.
Not a single Marvel.
It's like the
character.
same thing. Like
This is a good one.
the Simpsons fighting
The
Vladimir
Simpsons
Putin.
females stare in amazement at the former leader of China, Mao Zedong.
So now I'm imagining a situation too, going back to the Putin one, where someone slides in the picture and Putin just looks and is like, okay, pull the troops out of Ukraine. That's it. We're defeated. That's the end. It's beautiful. I think he has such a hyperfixation. It looks like he really did pull every Simpsons female character.
Yeah, and they're all like these like really specific screen grabs. They're all like really low
I think
quality.
he even has some of the Simpson comic characters.
He might. Here's another good one. The Simpsons females look at Weezer in amazement. And it's every single fucking Simpsons female character looking at the band Weezer.
Specifically the cover to the Blue album.
So yeah, shout out Ben Hughes. You get this week's Thought Cops Key to the City.
Brandon,
So,
let's go.
There's a little show
Let's
in
go,
Japan
Brandon.
that came out in 1974 called Kamen Rider Amazon. Famously created by Shotaro Ishinomuro.
Famously?
Famously. Listen, look it up on the fucking internet, you idiot. But
What
it's
website?
it's the story of a jungle boy named Daisuke who was lost in the Amazon but became the mighty Kamen Rider Amazon. It spans over 26 episodes. It's one of my favorite things I watch because the second episode he ends up in Japan and he's just screaming at trains because he doesn't know what they are. And I'm like, this is the best show I've ever seen.
Wait, so this is like separate from like regular Kamen Rider?
So the Kamen Rider franchise started in 1971 and then had many off branches and offshoots from both the Showa era to the Heisei era. Now in the Reiwa era, as they go by each generation of the Emperor of Japan. This was during the fourth season of the Showa era, which the order would be, of course, Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider V3, then Kamen Rider X, and then Kamen Rider
I wish I had
Amazon.
a little notebook and a pencil, and I could be like pretending to take notes right now.
Okay.
That'd be a good bit.
Keep up. Okay, there's gonna be a pop quiz after this.
Yeah.
But no, he's just a crazy jungle boy who fights monsters and bites them until blood shoots out of them. And there's 26 episodes of it, and I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I recommend it highly. I'll drop the link in the Thought Cops Discord so you can watch
Sounds
the
a little
episode.
violent, Brandon.
It's very violent, and I love it. If anything, I think things should be more violent. And I think in any form of media, people should constantly be being beheaded and blood shooting out of their necks.
Including podcasts.
I agree.
Yeah, including podcasts.
I agree.
My cue to the city this week goes to this woman who's an absolute queen. Her name is Suzette Baker. She's a librarian in Texas. And
Good start.
And they told her, hey, there's some books where, listen, I don't know if you're going to believe this or not, but there's some gay people in these books. You can't have these books anymore. And she goes,
Like
well,
Catcher in the Rye.
yeah. And she goes, this is a library.
The Great Gatsby.
Yeah. And she goes, well, this is a library. And they go, yeah, but you have to, what if children see these books and there's gay people in the books? And she goes, this is a library. And they go, you got to take those books down. What if people see that there's...
Didn't you already do this before?
No, this was a different... this is recent. This just
Okay.
happened. And she said, no, what are you going to do? Fire me? And they fired her because she wouldn't do the
The gang gets fired.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Fire me? Yeah, they were saying it's inappropriate and pornographic, but we all know what that means. It's that people didn't want kids looking at books about whatever, and she said, hey, I'm a librarian, and I don't do the whole censorship thing. And the whole First Amendment people and the whole free speech crowd, how come they're not rallying to get this woman her job back? She's literally the last bastion, arguably the only bastion of free speech in this country. And everyone's like, oh, whatever. Oh, what goes around comes around. It's like, she's a librarian. She's an old lady. Look at this lady. This lady's more of I know that the thumbnail's small, but you can sort of see what she looks like. She's just an old lady that works at a library, and she's more of a hero than any of these fucking keyboard warriors on Twitter that are, they put a black person in the new Marvel movie, woke much. She's more of a hero than any of those fucking people. All of them combined.
Brandon, can you tell, is she wearing a cape in that picture?
Actually, the funny thing is she's not, and I have to say this real quick. Not all heroes wear capes.
It's almost as if you had
Food for thought.
a Venn diagram and you had heroes and capes, but in the middle it said
Not all men.
not all of
Yeah.
not all men,
Not
yeah.
all men.
Hashtag. So yeah, that's the key to the city this week.
Wonderful.
Yep. Oh, my free speech. Oh, somebody banned me from Twitter. Someone fired a grandma from her job because she didn't want to censor your free speech.
Yeah, it's pretty whack, I'm gonna say.
No, the thing that I think I talked about before was that groups of furries were trying to save the libraries.
Oh yeah,
And doing a pretty good job about it too. They were raising a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to me how conservatism is constantly battling against itself for everything they say that they actually fight for, and then instantly do that. But it's more of a longer term sickness from capitalism infusing itself into that and Christian values. And then that's why, if you don't mind, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to dive into real quick the fall of the American morale system.
Well, Brandon, you could also take this time to plug all your wonderful stuff, your social media, your podcast, anywhere our listeners
Yeah,
can
tell us
find you.
where we can find those good old-fashioned family values.
Okay,
ones
which
we
we used to
used to
read
rely
line. Yeah.
Okay, there's a family guy.
So if you turn on TBS
I'm
at
really
10
just
p.m.,
reevaluating everything right now.
Positively can too.
yeah, you could follow me
us.
on Twitter at Kirkman Brandon. It's how it sounds like it's spelled, Kirkman Brandon. It's fun to say like that, like a Jeff Foxworthy. And you know about trophies? Okay, no. Yeah, you could follow me there.
When I was a kid,
That's a pandering joke.
That is a
You
pandering
knew
joke.
your audience.
Yeah.
And I did the monkey with the symbols.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
love that monkey. Yeah, as
It's a
you
good monkey.
might
Top
have
10 monkey.
As you might have guessed, I do a lot of podcasting. I do comedy. I also do a lot of art, so I post my art on there.
True.
You can also check out my podcast, Podzuki, which we talk about kaiju, which are monsters or large monster movies. We get really silly with it though. Like we did Clifford the Big Red Dog, of course. We also recently did Blank Check because the kaiju is capitalism. It makes sense if you've seen the movie. And then also I'm on NPC Incorporated, which is a live play D&D podcast where we play a kind of like it's set in 1989 in a office where we're working. But like I said, it's like there's actually goblin mode going on, but the goblins are real. So real, authentic XXX goblins, baby.
I knew this
It's
would
all out
happen
there.
one day.
Sounds
Yeah.
sexy.
It's very sexy. And I think that's it for my plugs for now. We're about to... Oh, this is a fun thing. If you do listen to Podzuki or you get interested in it, we're about to have our 100th episode, I think probably about 2 weeks after this comes out, or a month. If you want to...
Maybe next year.
If you want to record a voice clip of yourself just completely shit-talking the podcast, even being like, I've never listened to Podzuki, I will never listen to it, it sounds like shit, please email that at podzukipodcast@gmail.com and we will put it in the 100th episode.
Remind me to do that because I definitely will.
Yeah, and once again, that's podzukipodcast@gmail.com. Password
that.
is... Okay, no. That's it.
Well, that's a great excuse to move on to the next part of the show here.
I forgot that I was wearing this hat still. This is what it feels like to be Tim Pool. You can't forget that you're wearing... The cat's just slamming cabinets. Just ignore it. It doesn't matter.
I want to give a quick... Well, actually, we don't have any new patrons this week, but I want to give a quick thank you to one of our oldest patrons. Switch it up a little bit this week. One of our oldest listeners of the show, Kaylin Piotrowski. Thank you for being a long-time supporter of the show. You know, it can't just be about the people who are bandwagoning, you know?
That's right. This is what episode's for you, you sick freak.
That's right. If you want to support the show, if you want me to read your name off on the episode, head on over to patreon.com/thoughtcops. You can come hang out in the live video chats with us here, get access to all of our bonus content, which we're recording a brand spanking new episode of Fire Bros this weekend, which that's going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to want to miss that.
You should do Righteous Gemstone Season 2.
That'll be in the
Probably
pipeline.
next week, or not next week, next month. But we already got the ones set in stone.
Yeah, and we gotta do Sonic, and then I want to watch that one movie that's like everything, everywhere, all at once. Looks really good.
It actually does look really fun.
At first, I wasn't sold on the idea. About halfway through the trailer, I was like, "This is dumb." And then they kept just doing more and more, and I was like, "This is amazing."
That was exactly my reaction. Like, they're trying too hard. I'm like, they are really going for it. I gotta check this out.
Oh man, like the whole when she like puts the fucking like googly eye in the center of her head, I was like, this is fantastic filmmaking.
It's gotta be fun.
I have to see this.
Hey, save it for the paywall, okay? Anyway, you can also leave us a voicemail because that's free. Give us a call, 312-788-7361. Or you can always send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that number is 312-788-7361. And without further ado, let's hit it.
Hey, it's a me, a pasta italiano, Maron. I get it yelled at by the Lori Lightfoot. She tell me to suck her dick. I tell her. We don't know women that are not sucking a dick.
They went Cajun.
What kind of accent?
Yeah,
They
that
went
was
Cajun
a real
at the end.
Well,
confusion.
The guy's name was Pasta Italiano, so I can only imagine that is a French
I
gentleman.
mean, listen, I've heard online about the Italian to Cajun pipeline, but now I'm seeing it for real. And I'm concerned for this country.
Yeah, what the heck was
He was
that?
complaining about Lori Lightfoot said that she had a bigger dick than him, which
is
is what
true.
we talked about.
Oh, that's
she has
right, yeah.
the biggest dick in Chicago, as we've ascertained on the
Bigger
last
than any of the Italians.
yeah,
That's
bigger than all the Italians.
I've had a lot of
and
issues.
all of the Cajuns.
I've had a lot of issues with Lori Lightfoot because she sucks and she's a bad human being, but that was the first time she said something like, I kind of like her.
That's one of the things
She's
that made
kinda
me
silly.
proud to be a Chicagoan. I was like, yeah, that's good. This is good content.
I'm
This is
proud to be a Chicagoan, where my dick is smaller than Lori's.
And I proudly stand up. Okay.
Next to you.
Oh, man, patriotism's so
When is Podzuki gonna
Hello?
review the most important kaiju movie of all time?
This is so disrespectful.
Yeah, I
Big
think we
Money
got a Podzuki
Hustlers.
first.
Because as we
he's
all
asked
know,
this before.
the Dark Carnival is a metaphorical
Cheers, Wick.
kaiju. If you hit your head in the heart, hit yourself in the head hard enough and think about it.
Hit your head in the hard enough.
Okay, wait.
No,
Oh, you motherfucker! You piece of shit!
he
There we
stole
go.
your bit.
I do want to say this. I'm going to put this on
Wait, there
recording.
might be more.
The contract has been sealed.
Oh,
What is that? What does that mean?
he knows what he did. He signed in blood. I want to put
Okay.
this on recording right now. Zwick, if you want to come on to Podzuki and talk about Big Money Hustlers, baby, it's going to happen.
Ooh, that would be a great episode.
Yeah, I'm down
Honestly,
for it.
you should do that.
Yeah.
That's. I won't listen to it, but you should do that.
I mean, I
I'll
think
listen to it.
with how crazy the last 5 to 6 years have been, it's gone from me having like a idea of like, oh, you know, ICP kind of a joke to be like, I kind of respect ICP on a lot of the platforms they're standing on at this point.
Well,
truthfully, yeah. I mean, I don't like their music,
no, it's horrible.
and a lot of
It's
most
so
of
bad.
most
The movies
of.
suck. The music is some of the worst shit you'll ever hear. Incredibly untalented
But a good
people. But yeah, good father, I guess. But also incredibly untalented. Some of the worst.
So you're just saying ways I can relate to them more.
some of the worst music of all time, like the worst, like art you'll ever.
They've done more for Detroit though than Eminem. So
Yeah, but also really, really untalented.
all right.
Damn, he's going for him.
Anyway,
Hey, Thought Cops, it's your boy Brandon Kirkman. I heard that you're
What?
having on
wait a second, I'm confused.
Brandon Kirkman tonight. Not a huge fan,
who's
but
this?
I'd call to leave a voicemail still. I was wondering if the
You guys know this guy?
what's
No.
his name?
Tasmanian Devil.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering if the Tasmanian Devil
Okay,
could suck
yeah.
his own dick. If he would both do that, but then spin around in like that hurricane pattern from Looney Tunes while grunting and making those noises. Or do you think if he could suck his own dick, it would just do it normally? Anyways, have a great episode. Not really a big fan of this guest, but, you know, whatever.
It is what it is.
So yeah, I had this thought today. If the Tasmanian Devil could suck his own dick, would he be inspired to spin around and make those grinding noises, or would he just suck it normally?
I would have to assume he would because, like,
He would have to stop. Yeah, because like his lower portion is the one that spins.
Or do
and
you
then
think it's when he's
sometimes
getting ready to
it's-
climax and he's busting that nut? That's when he starts spinning.
I imagine that.
Why do you do this?
It's so
Why are you
fun.
like this?
You asked last week about Shovel Knight's feet
And I got no answer, so I'm pissed.
because she's not allowed to. She works for the company.
What is she hiding? What is she hiding?
That's a good question.
He's got little feet.
I'm not going to say it's a bad question. It was a good question. It just, some people are like legally obligated not to speak on that kind of stuff. That being said, we have no affiliation with Warner Brothers, so I will say on record, I think that he would spin around really fast because think about the centrifugal force that comes. Like he's just like.
Oh, once that force start hitting, he nutting.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And also like the noises, like the guttural noises, like the vibrations that probably like reverberate on his shaft.
I'm gonna hit the next voicemail.
I respect your truth.
Yeah. Next one, please.
Hey, it's your truth. You whatever they say.
I would get a librarian fired over this if I had to. Let me tell you. To get the answer I needed.
Hey man, free speech, not free consequences.
Because if you think about it, he's like half mouth, so it'd be so easy for him to bend over and suck his own dick. Like I don't think he even has to have a big dick. I just hit my steps for the day too for a Fitbit.
You weren't walking.
I know. I was yelling about that Taz dick, baby.
Wow.
That's like 10 steps right there.
I guess if that is what works for you, I'm gonna go ahead.
You're burning calories. Talking about cartoon
Hello,
character
Cop.
sticks.
Once again, it is I, Leo the Incredible, gracing your voicemail. I hope Thursday's treating you gentlemen well.
Thank you.
I have a thought crime, as I usually do. So, this one might be a little bit more universal. Have you guys ever heard of the concept, and maybe I'm coining this, but the decidedly undecided? I'm sure we've all encountered these people in our lives, whether it's going to a meal, picking out a movie, or choosing an activity to do. It's when somebody shoots down every idea, every option you present to them for the aforementioned activity. Let's go out and grab a meal. Well, I don't know what to get. Well, how does a burger and fries sound? Oh, I don't want burger and fries. How does tacos sound?
Pretty good.
No, I don't want tacos. Well, then what the hell do you want? And they can't tell you. They can't tell you because they don't want to. This also goes with movies as well. Let's go to a movie. Well, which one should we go see? I know, the new popular Spider-Man movie. I don't want to go see that. Well, then what do you want to go see? I don't know. Gentlemen, my family does this to me on a daily basis.
I was going to say, I had a feeling.
And it should be punished.
Yeah.
I'm just weak to do it to my own family. Come up with a wonderful punishment for the family, and I'll see it through.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking guillotines.
You don't deal with your. Just send them our way. We'll punish your family for you.
I really like
Leo.
how
That's
he uses this podcast as an excuse to like vent about his wife.
Hey man, you got to do what you got to do. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here for you, man. If the show can
everybody gets something different out of the show.
Yeah, if this is what that is for you, then
at least he stopped talking about Paper Mario, so that's good.
That's an improvement. Sure.
I shouldn't have said Beetlejuice, but I said it, and now I've said it twice. And if I say it a third time, it's gonna happen.
But he says we have to punish his family. I say you tie them up and don't give them an option next time.
I thought you were gonna go for the guillotine.
And then if they complain, they cut their fucking head.
There we go. Yeah, I think if you're having a problem with food options and movie options, you gotta go full dad mode and just be like, I'm doing it. You know, I don't give a shit. You give me no answers. That's it. Simple as that.
Are you preparing?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a kid like in July too. So I'm gonna probably be calling in and complaining about my little shit too.
Maybe give Leo a call for some advice. Like, my kid doesn't like the baby food I got her.
We're just gonna use this podcast where I call in with my question, and the next week he calls in with his answer.
We're just gonna stop talking about the internet after a while. We're just gonna be like, this is a family therapy podcast. Call in, tell us.
Now, would you say
on.
this would be a podcast for like a Family Guy?
What happened with my life? That's what I have to wonder.
Well, that just about does it for another episode of Think Poll.
312-788-7361 or send an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Tell us, why do you hate your family?
Join the Discord. I will drop a link where you could watch the entire season of Kamen Rider Amazon easily on a Google Drive.
Yeah, the Discord is down in the description. I almost said the thing I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, thank you for not. That's good.
Anyway, Brandon, thank you so much for coming on the show. Nice to have somebody else in the room with us for a change.
Yeah.
in the YouTube comments, let us know what you think about this setup. Is this a good setup? Do we look like MSNBC? You tell us.
I think the way that Ukraine could fully get Russia.
Nope.
Okay.
See ya, everybody. That's all. That's all, folks. Is I was doing the pig one.
I'm just sorry. Taz sucking his own dick is such a good image to have in your mind.